Here at Supernova ESL AUNZ Finals with Dickstacy, doing this for Respawn Ninja. We just had the best audio sync clap of the event so far, and that's just what you get when you bring Dickstacy for an interview, you know.
Yeah, right.
So you guys are yet to play now, but obviously have had a lot of tournaments and results coming into this, and most notably, I think it might be unfair to start out on a downwards note, but I think it's fair to start there, and that is at the EPL online qual bracket, where you suffered, was it two best of 3 losses to Order, and Order went through, yeah. So do you mind running through that first, and then we can sort of move our way up into the present?
Yeah, so for those 2 games against Order, they played really well for those 2 games, 2 best of 3s, and we were just went missing for the first game both times. I don't know what it is about us, but like the first map we always just throw away. Like, I don't know why. We never really come out, and we're just not really there to play. I think it was Mirage twice that went to overtime, and they capitalised on some big rounds. Ali went off. He had a really good couple of days with the AWP, so kudos to them. They came at us with some new stuff. Obviously, they prepared really well for the EPL and cared really a lot about it, and they took the win. So I think they just played better than us.
True, and the reason why I wanted to touch on that was because you see here at this LAN, so obviously 2 online best of 3s come into LAN best of 1s,
yeah.
And then you can sort of see more or less how closely contested a lot of the individual talent is in Australian CS, because Order lost to Breakaway Esports in a best of 1, and then they also lost to Chiefs in an overtime best of 1 here. And so even though they've beaten, you know, like the big dogs, the Grey Dogs, Grayhound in 2 best of 3s, they come here and lose 2 best of 1s. So what do you think about sort of this like volatility in Australian CS?
I think it's good, to be honest, because I want like top 4 in Oz used to be for the past year, like no one could beat the top 4, but like right now they're seeing these teams come up, which I'm glad they have, because it's about time kind of thing. Like they've had ample amount of opportunity to come up and take some W's, so I'm glad they're coming out of the woodworks right now. In regards to Order, I think they're just lacking some team cohesion at the moment. I feel like they're relying on a lot of individual performances to carry their victory, and because these players are grinding, and like these teams like Breakaway are really putting in the hours with themselves, like individually and as a team, like they're just taking the W's because they're better prepared and in better form.
Right, and interestingly, and people might not know this about your background moving into Grayhound, but like obviously you came up through these lower levels yourself. I think I remember, was it when ESCA came, were you like the top of the ESCA rank S or something like that?
Okay, yeah. So the first month I was in rank S because I was a substitute for Darksided back in the day.
Yeah.
And then all I had to do was just play rank S, and I won that because, I don't know, I was a beast. Not gonna lie.
And so what I was trying to get at with that was that there's a lot of players here, like when we look at, you know, say like Zeph for Order, Sterling for you guys, like Andy for Breakaway. There's a lot of these players who were at that CGI level around this time last year, and now that they're playing on bigger lands like this amongst sort of the top 5 teams in Australia. And so how do you as a team, being the top dogs, sort of conceptualize your performance against these lower leveled sides and potentially like unknown talents?
I think like for our team, I think like we've really drilled the fundamentals, and we've got 2 very experienced players in our team, Urcast and Dexter. So like we've just got our fundamentals so nailed down that I feel like it really, when we're versing those lower tier teams, that we always prevail just because of our fundamentals and individual skill. So I feel like we're kind of like the team that's least likely to lose and drop a map to those tier 2 up and coming teams, just because for that reason. And then Order and Taint at the moment are kind of just playing a bit of catch up in regards to like fundamentals and like not relying on individual performances. So yeah.
And then also why I brought up that whole CGI thing and like lower tier coming up is you've got one of those players in your team. You've got Sterling playing alongside him. And how's it been bringing Sterling in? Because obviously more passive components, similar to Grat in a lot of ways.
I was actually really surprised by Sterling. Like I was like, I always knew he was talented. I always knew he was insane. But his amount of knowledge that he has in the game is like, it's absolutely crazy, man. Like he knows more than me. And like it's been smooth sailing. Like we're just like getting him more aggressive, because like he's got literally the best aim. I reckon he's the best AWPer in Australia, and like once he gets more aggressive and get more confident, like I feel like he's going to be a real like big tool for us to just absolutely demolish teams. So he's a weapon.
Yeah, and I was talking to Tux previously at this event, and he says the series he's most excited about, like what his year has been sort of leading towards, is a best of 3 against you guys on LAN. So, so how do you conceptualize that matchup with Chiefs?
Easy, man. Chiefs are easy. I don't know. They're putting a lot of
I don't know. You can't just be like, it's easy, dude. I don't know, man.
I don't know. There's something about Chiefs that, like, their play style, we really enjoy playing it. I'm not too sure what it is, but I feel like every time we verse Chiefs, we know what they're doing when they're doing it, and it honestly just comes down hitting shots on the day because we're, knowledge-wise, we're better.
True. Some fighting words coming out there from Big Dickstacy. And then just rounding out the interview, I just wanted to get sort of your perspective on your own individual game within the Grayhound system. Is there anything, because I've only sort of had a cursory look at your demos, but it seems to me that you might be more active on T-side recently. Would that be a correct assessment? Or?
Oh, for sure. So I'm more active on T-side just because I'm more of an entry fragger.
Yeah.
And once if everyone's like on the same page, like that's probably the biggest thing in our team. When we're not on the same page, it's hard for me to get into the game. But honestly, at the moment, we've really got a lot of reaction set and a lot of team cohesion at the moment. So entering's never been easier. And when it comes to T-side, it's where I do best because I've got more of the small anchor roles on CD side, more of the bitch roles. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just there to do my job and then let the boys take over from there.
Too easy. Any last words before we sign off?
Nah, not really, man. Just nah, nothing at all.